I'm William Wallis. Today my show is William Wallis for America. I started my show about 9 or 10 years ago on the radio, and at the time I wanted to be the next right-wing conservative talk show host. And so I did. I got on the air, and every time I went on for a show, I went on there and just talked the Republican, the narratives, if you will, that you hear all over the place from Republican TV shows. And after a few years, I kind of got tired of it. I kind of got tired. I was to the point where I was like, I'm kind of tired just repeating. I felt like I was repeating. I didn't feel like it was really coming from my heart, although I have conservative values, which I don't align with being Republican. I find that conservative values know no party. Conservative values are shared by everyone. Hard work ethic, fiscal conservatism, family, faith. These are all conservative values that everybody shares, regardless of what party that you're a member of. And so I felt with going into the show every day, or when I went to the show every time, I felt less passionate about the narrative. I still felt passionate about my values, but I felt something was missing. So 3 years ago, I ran for office. I ran for state rep in my area. And
where was your area?
In Jefferson Parish in Louisiana.
Okay.
And I thought that everybody was going to look like me, think like me, act like me, believe like I believe, and everything would be just like me, and it'd be easy. But I knocked on every single door in the district, and I spent 8 months, knocking on doors every day, and I started listening to people. And as I listened to people, and I'll start with this, as I knocked on every door, I started seeing people that didn't look like me, didn't think like me, were very different from me, and not that I was surprised or shocked, but I opened up when they opened up the door, we started talking.
Yes.
And I listened to people. I would maybe make the assumption that they might be politically a little bit different than me, but when you listen to people, and as I did, I found that there was more things that we unite on than not. And as I would knock on doors throughout the weeks and months of the campaign, more and more, I started realizing that we as Americans unite on more than we're divided on. But we're always divided on these little topics here and there. And I've met Democrats that are more Republican than some of our Republican friends.
Yes.
And opposite. So I realized that area in the middle where we have more in common, where we can meet at, or where all the solutions are. But this is where it's most important. This is the most important thing about this is you don't have to give up your own beliefs or your own ideologies to find the things that you have in common with other people.
Yes.
And you don't have to give up your beliefs and say, okay, I'm going to meet you in the middle and vote your way. You
have to have respect.
You have respect.
Yes.
And what happens is the solutions might be smaller, they might be harder to get to, but if we do that same philosophy in Congress or in our state legislatures, we get smaller bills that have more impact, that solve more problems, instead of saying, okay, we're going to solve, the bill is named the whatever bill act, but there's about 100 things that we all have to add into it to make it to where Joe will vote for it, Betty will vote for it, or all the other state reps will vote for it, and then you end up with this large bill that ends up having unintended consequences.
Well, what I call that is keeping it simple and building on the positive.
Exactly. So I like to find things that you can unite on, and if we as Americans start ignoring all the narratives and finding those things that we can unite on, we're going to be a much better country, and we're going to get along a lot better, and we're not going to be as divided.
Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much.